What would you use one of these for?
What would I use it for, or what is it meant for?
Oh, isn't this for fish? Getting things out of fish?
Ah, interesting thought.
On the Swiss Army knife, there's one for scooping out a fish eye.
They're not as difficult to get out the eye of a fish, are they? They're pretty squidgy, unless the fish is still alive. Fish don't blink, which is the main eye defence. If you're ever trying to get the eye out of a fish and it blinks, it may be a lion.
Is this the Albanian army knife? I do two things. I poke and scoop.
Now, I like the word scoop.
Scoop.
It's scooping fish eyes out.
Not for scooping out fish eyes, but for scooping something.
Some people get loads of sleep in their eye. Great clods. More than a finger end can manage. They need a tool.
When you get up in the morning and you...
Hi, what did you say?
I like you very much.
Earwax.
Is the right answer. Yay.
No, thanks a bunch.
You've all got...
That as well?
You've all got a red one, in fact.
Oh.
Yeah, this one too. This is a slightly more modern version. Do you know what they're called?
Earwax scoopers.
Yeah. They're called ear spoons or ear curettes. Doctors call them a curette.
Can I just say, I mean, how much do these things cost?
Well, not very much, I wouldn't have thought.
Can I just say, anyone buying a Bic biro?
We have to be very careful about what we put into our ears, though, don't we? They do say if you put a tiny bit of earwax, say you've got glasses and you do that, you know, which some people with glasses do, and you would just pop it on top of a frothing pint of beer or stout, it makes the head disappear completely. Because it's oil-based, and oil will break down the surface tension of the bubbles and cause them to collapse.
Do you use that little hole? You put that in your ear?
Well, yes. Again, a doctor wouldn't recommend it. I have to... Oh, he's going to do it.
Silly not to. I can't hear anything.
The problem is not the scraping out of the ear matter, it's the disposal.
Oh, you're right.
Where does one put it?
Yes, because unlike snot, it doesn't taste nice.
Yeah. It is so very bitter, isn't it?
Yes, it is bitter. Yes. Oh, dear.
Yes, it's very much the greens of the meal that the body makes for itself.
Eat up your earwax.
Yeah.
That's what magicians do, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very good. It's convincing from my angle, not from the audience.
It's actually gone in.
Well...
Is it true if you squirt sort of fairy liquid on, thinking of the surface tension thing, where there are lots of water boatmen hanging around, they'll all sink, won't they?
They will.
And you want to look at the expressions on their faces, because to them it's like the ground has turned to liquid. Because they don't realise it's liquid to start with, the morons.
Right, what can you tell me about Q-tips?
Don't put them in your ear.
They're much better for cleaning your ear than these things.
Well, you'd think, wouldn't they? Do you know who invented them?
Mr. Q and Mr. Tip.
It was actually a man called Leo Garstensang.
So it wasn't Quincy Tippington?
Lovely thought. When he saw his wife using toothpicks with cotton wads for their baby's ear. And do you know what the original name was for them?
Baby spears.
Baby something. Baby gays.
Baby gays?
Baby gays. G-A-Y-S.
Are they still called baby gays in other places? Because I imagine if some, a foreigner comes here on holiday and having a lovely time, but they think, I'd better clean my ears, put on a good show, and they walk into Boots and go, have you got any baby gays? They'll be put on some sort of register.
They would. You're right. Do you know how many of these baby gays now called Q-tips or cotton buds Unilever produces a year?
Billions.
2 trillion.
2 billion. 3 billion. 4 billion.
25.5 billion.
Billion?
A year. How many uses can you think of for a monk's earwax?
Oh, it's endless. Candles.
Yeah, candles
Polishing
and beer.
wood.
They might have done
That sounds like a euphemism.
But,
And I meant
Not
it.
much else to do in a monastery.
I know.
what are monks
Polishing their
handed
own
down to us, mostly?
Bibles.
Bibles and manuscripts, illustrated.
Spend their lifetime writing, copying them out, doing lines, basically.
Yes. There we are. There's a picture of a happy monk doing his illuminations. And that side of it, the painty side of it, is they used a substance called glaire, G-L-A-I-R. And it tends to get bubbled. But they found if they added earwax into it, they could get a really smooth, beautiful lustre and sheen to the illustrations that they were doing, which have lasted us down the centuries.
How do you think of that, though, to go, there it is.
I think
Bloody hell,
you might
paint
try
it
at
that.
home is that you could take a pint of foaming beer and then pop a little earwax into the head of your foaming tankard and the bubbles should collapse.
If you're watching TV, don't listen to this man.
I think you're right.
It would be better if it was the other way round. That you had a sort of flat liquid and then you put a bit of earwax in it, it went fizzy.
Oh, yeah. OK. Chuck some sodium in your beer.
Yeah.
That should work.
Which orifice does sodium come out of?
They left other little things for us, little maniculi, little hands that pointed to certain sections of the text in the Bible, which you can see one on the left
well,
there.
Well, if you've read the name of the rose, they left clues everywhere, but all sorts.
Yeah, and octopuses as well. You can see an octopus at the top there. They, for some reason, like octopuses.
Is that a person with a huge sort of trumpet up his bottom?
It's something odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what they're doing there. They're praising the Lord. And above that often have knights fighting snails.
It's so boring in those monasteries.
Exactly.
The old fart trumpet was the favourite thing to do. I was going to say on a Sunday, but perhaps not.
No.
Well, they used to leave...
Do that!
They used to leave little remarks like, oh, God, it's cold in here, or I'm so bored. And just like anybody would.
School kids on the desk.
Exactly like that.
So why are they fighting snails?
No one's quite sure, but it's a common feature, knights versus snails. They seem to like it. Some people may think it was a symbol of the struggle of the poor against the aristocracy.
I think people shouldn't watch this show anymore.
Do you think they had loads of snails, sort of, in these cold, damp monasteries, and there were snails everywhere, and they were hoping a gallant knight would come and help them deal with the snail infestation problem?
How can we tell who is whose child just by looking at their ears?
That was a beautiful weekend. Presumably, the parents of the child would be going, step away from my child, stop looking at its ears.
Well, yes, there is that.
On that day, I had to have a child's head on my body all day.
Was it exhausting?
I tell you what, I've got a cracking pair of tits.
So, the Atkins is working then.
I feel really left out.
I'm sorry.
Can I be like the dog or something?
Actually, though, David, you could also be the parent of that child. And indeed, Alan and Phil could be your parents. In terms of ears, how will we know that, though? What is it about your ears that is particular? It's very odd that all four of you, have very unusual ears. Or not very unusual, but less than average.
Is it that
A
you
lobe
length?
thing?
Yeah.
It's a lobe thing. Your lobes are all attached. They don't hang.
Attach? Yeah, what, you mean they're not sort of over there somewhere?
No, they're called attached lobes.
Oh,
they
no.
go straight down. You don't have a little actual lobe.
You have a lobe.
Yeah.
You have a lobe, don't
A
you?
little flappy lobe. I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, stop it! Stop it!
It's more common to have a lobe than not to, in fact. In the audience, can you put your hands up if you've got, like me, a little flappy lobe? Freaks! There you see. And could you put your hands up if you haven't, if you're like those? Yes, you see. It's a bit like eye colour. It's a dominant and recessive gene thing, so that if you both have attached lobes as a mother and father, then your child must have attached lobes too.
So if a family are watching this and they think, well, hang on, ours hasn't.
Yeah. I'm afraid it's a dead giveaway. Yeah.
Wow, this is turning into Kilroy. Well done.
Yeah.